Welcome. Sports Talk with K Shafe. I'm Cody, aka K Shafe. So today I'm going to try to talk about the past two games this weekend. Looking at the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. And then we have second, we're going to have the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's get things started off with probably the most controversial game of the year, if not the decade. So we got the Rams and Saints. So looking at the stat sheet, looks like it was pretty evenly matched. Passing yards were pretty much the same. We got 297 from Goff and 249 from Breeze. 25 for 40 for Goff and 26 for 40 for Breeze. So that wasn't one of the things that would have changed the game at all. Looks like there was, some passing going on, of course. But as far as that goes, passing wasn't a situation. I mean, they got they're a little over 50% of their passes were caught. So that wasn't something that was going to determine the game. And then the rushing yards were about the same as well, 44 from Anderson and 31 from Ingram. But my question for that is, Gurley wasn't in the game that much. Looking at the stat sheet, looks like Gurley was 4 carries for 10 yards. His longest was 6 yards, so he only had 4 carries. And he didn't have that much receiving either. He just had 1 catch. So that's something to think about. Let's go on with that. You pretty much your Pro Bowl All-American running back isn't in the game at a crucial time. What's going on with that? Have to talk about that later. Then we got Ingram with 31 yards, but then we also had Kamara with 11 receptions for 96 yards. He's one of the mobile dual threat running backs, so he did catch a lot because he didn't have much. He had 8 for 15 yards, and he didn't have his longest was 6 yards, so they stopped him on the run. They got them 2 block walls with the Rams. They got Sue, and then they got Donald. So yeah, that wasn't going to be a threat at all. Then they had Cooks with 107 yards for 7 receptions. That's not bad. That's pretty darn good if I say so myself. Then they had a few other receivers with over 50. They had Reynolds and Everett with 74 and then 50. So that was pretty good. But it was down to the wire, man. 26-23 final overtime, of course. So my thing is, everybody's talking about the pass. He could have, he ain't had to do the pass interference. He could have, my opinion, he could have totally just intercepted the ball, been done with it. It was pass interference. It was definitely pass interference. They didn't call it. Now there's all these controversies about, the refs were from California, Southern California at that. So they were like, them being from California, they must have wanted them to win. I'm like, they do. I mean, I don't know why they didn't see it, but, they didn't see it. I think Stevie Wonder, maybe even Ray Charles, if he was alive, may have saw that one. But my thing is, they still had another possession. So for the people that are like, they should have got it, the game would have been over. I mean, cool, yeah, bet. But they still could have had the ball. They picked it off. They threw a pick in overtime and didn't do nothing after that. They just let them kick that, 56-yard field goal to win the game. So, if you feel that you should have won, you should have did what you needed to do in the overtime or your next possession, but you threw a pick. Ball don't lie sometimes. A lot of people say that, they're like, I'm not superstitious, but ball don't lie. Rams must have did something to get that W now. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. What could have been different? Do you think that would have determined whether or not, that was my bad. That was a big call that was missed. But, other than that, total yards went to the Rams. Turnovers was tied. First downs was tied. Time of possession was 2 minutes more for the Rams. So, that close of a game, do you call that call? That call right there pretty much determined the game because, whether if they called it, That would have been game time for the Saints. They didn't call it. It wasn't necessarily game time for the Rams because the Saints got the ball in overtime. So I guess my thing is, what do you do? Do you replay from that particular point and then go from there, or do you replay that down, or what do you do? Because I was listening to a few talk shows and they were like, so what do you do? You can't, that just seems like not necessarily favoritism, but it's pretty much saying like, okay, the Rams should have won this game. Now, stats and everything look like it's pretty much even. Did the Saints deserve to win this game? Should they have won this game? I mean, should it have been this close? They were up 13-0 the first quarter, and then they let them come on back. It was 10-13 at the half. And then, I don't know. That's something to think about, man. I mean, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Do you make that call and then say, okay, hey, we're going to let y'all play from the 40 to 50, what have you, and then, each team gets a possession, and whoever scores or gets more yards gets the game? I don't know. It's kind of a crucial thing. I mean, the refs missed a call, but Saints got enough possession. I would be totally different if they didn't. Like if that was a touchdown missed or something like that, or 2 feet in, like the Dez catch. Oh boy, don't bring that up. But it's just something to think about, man, because you got to think about, okay, you give them that possession, but then let's say they give them that possession. What if they picked it off? What if they, what if something would have happened? They would have went back and they missed a field goal. You never know. But let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. Do the Rams get an asterisk if they win the Super Bowl? Do the Saints deserve to get a rebuttal? Should Roger Goodell? Apparently, there's a rule in the rule book that says that if they feel that a play determined the game, they can recall it or something like that. Something to that effect. What do you think? Let me know. All right. Next game, we're going to talk about the Chiefs and the Patriots. All right, here we go.